Good morning, everyone. Mr. Essackjee, professional leadership coach, a professional engineer, Essackjee, faculty representative of the Faculty of Social Sciences and Humanities and MGI, all UM students. Dear audience, good morning and warm greetings to you all. Today again, we welcome Mr. Ismail, who grant us this opportunity to have a workshop on interviews, which is one of the most important aspects of a good career. As Alexander Graham Bell once said, before anything else, preparation is key to success. A job interview is not a test of your knowledge, but your ability to use it at the right time. In an interview, some common questions are, tell me about yourself. Why do you want to work at our company? What are your strengths? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? What are your career goals? These questions may seem easy, but these are some of the questions that will determine our career. So after this workshop, we'll hope that you ace your next interview. Now, I will pass on to my friend Hadia, who will tell us about her first interview. Hadia? Okay, so you can start. Hadia will make the interview later on.
Okay, I can see her online, but anyway, she can intervene maybe at a later stage. So thank you. Let's get started. Let me just put everything in order on my side. That's it. Then I'm going to put it on presentation mode. So let's get started. So thank you, first of all, to the University of Mauritius Student Union, okay, for again welcoming me to a session where I can share part of my knowledge to you. So I would like to thank Abhishek, Sudasha, Hadia, and Lekash as well. And it is indeed a pleasure. And I hope that this one is a bit about upbringing, maybe grooming as well. And why we said in what I've written is that you can start preparing for even an interview which has not been advertised now. So it's about working on you, how you can present yourself, how you can be better. Just to let you know that I'm recording this session and I will share the link later on with you. And this is number one. Number two is that I'm going to have like a few videos as well. And when the videos are being played, if you don't hear any sound, just let me know. I'm going to see if there's any setting which I need to do. So let's get started. For those who don't know me, I'm Ismail. You can call me Ismail anyway. So I can be reached by my email address and on my phone number if need be. And I have also my website. You can have more information about me. Basically, I am a senior engineer at the Central Electricity Board. But since maybe the last 5 years, I have been reconverting. I'm still an engineer. I'm reconverting into personal development coach, leadership coach, and so on, just to help, because it has helped me a lot in my career. So that's why now I want to share it with you, okay, students, or even young professionals, or even maybe not so young as well, to see how they can go to the next level in terms of their career, in terms of their personal life. Okay, but for today, what we have is a short video. Let's watch this one.
Send him.
Hi, I'm
Just
Raj.
take the marker and write something on the board.
Write what?
Write whatever you want.
Should it be related to programming languages?
Why did you write Java?
I'm Sun certified in Java
I
programming.
asked why did you write Java? You could have written anything. You could have written what the fuck. I would have written that if I were you, because someone's asking me to write something without a context. So now, why did you write Java?
I thought you would ask the questions on what I write on the board. I'm confident in Java, so I wrote it.
So you're confident on Java. Your resume says that you are a Sun certified Java programmer.
Yes.
We are done.
Why? I mean, you didn't ask me anything.
Hi Mahesh, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fine. Tell me something about yourself.
I'm Mahesh. I'm from
Get out.
Sorry?
I said get out. Take the marker and write something on the board.
I didn't know the context.
Fuck off.
I have distinction in all the semesters with 85% aggregate. I have done 2 major projects and 5 minor projects. And I also hold internship in 2 reputed companies.
Go work for them.
Actually, I work very hard.
Whatever I do it with perfection.
Actually, I am.
No, you didn't. We're done. You're in the wrong place.
Sorry, I thought you were an interviewer. Sorry.
Are you here for an interview?
Yup.
Take a marker and write something on the board. Sit down. Tell me something about yourself.
Well, you have my resume in your hand. I expect you to have gone through it. I'll tell you something that's not there. I like pani puri, not masal puri.
Well, you have less marks in academics. Why?
I didn't like sitting in the classrooms and listening to boring lectures. And I hate remembering some data and writing exams. We have storage devices for that.
You have done project alone. Why?
I pitched my idea to the project panel. They said you're crazy and rejected it. I told them, rather argued with them, saying you don't have brains to understand my idea. They said if you think you're a genius, we'll approve it. Do it, let's see. After this, nobody wanted to join me for the project.
So you did it alone and completed it?
Yes, but it took me 2 years extra. That's why it took 6 years to do engineering. I'm okay with it.
If you want me to give you this job, then you gotta take off your funky style dress, put on formals, comb the hair, and those earrings should go.
That's a good suggestion, but I'll keep my style.
Is it more important than your career?
No, but a career without being myself is not important.
You're in.
Thank you.
Okay, so I think it was a slightly long video, but it gives you lots of insight about how an interview goes by. And it's not the best, maybe example, but it shows you that you need to be slightly different. Okay, it's not like out of the books. We are going to share a few questions that you need to prepare, but still you will need to put in your own, what he said, masala and so on, your own spices to it. And you have seen that the interviewer, he's busy. He's always busy. All these CEOs and so on, the HR managers, they're all busy. So they're not here to lose their time. And if you're having like a 10, maybe candidates to interview, it's going to take their time. It's maybe at times not so interesting. But if you make it interesting, we'll see how you can turn this conversation, this interview, into like a, not a passive conversation, but an active where if someone is going to laugh and so on. So you can actually make it. Right now, so what is this one skill? Let's try to identify one skill which needs to be, which can use to actually ace your interview. What is this one skill that you need actually? Maybe is it public speaking? Is it you need to have like a very good technical skills? Okay, you know everything from what you have done from year 1 to your final year. Okay, you know your final year report by heart. So this is these kinds of skills which we are looking for. Or do you need what we call backing skills? Okay, so if you were in a classroom environment, I would maybe hear a bit from you. But ultimately, what you are here for is about selling skills, how you're going to sell yourself. It's not that you're going to actually really sell yourself, but it is how can you put to yourself all the positive characteristics that are required, that are suitable for this specific job, that are going to meet some of the job requirements that you have. You need to put all that in front. It's not that you're just, par exemple, maman sans pomme d'amour, 3 pour 10, etc. Non, enfin, pomme d'amour, sa pomme, okay, 3 pour 10. No, it's not about this type of selling, but you need to be able to put forward all those skills that you have gathered. One of the skills is through this like sessions that we are having today. I've seen lots of personal development growth webinar which have been organized in this last maybe 1 month or more at the university. So if you have been assisting to these, you are going to have a few of the skills, and maybe online as well on Udemy and so on, you can get new skills and you can get certificates and so on for that. We are going to come back to that slightly after. So the one skill that is important for us is about selling yourself. You need to know how to sell yourself in a professional manner. Okay, so for today's session, we are going to have a look at what is the objective of an interview. An interview is a process and it has an objective. We're going to have a look at what is the specific objective. If you are able to know what is the objective, you will be able to prepare for this interview much better. Next, preparation work. Okay, as our the first speaker said, it's about preparation, lots of preparation, and the preparations have started now. Okay, you need to start preparing right now. The D-Day, what happens on the D-Day, on the interview itself. The interview, so it's a process. We are going to see what are the different stages in the interview process, and how, when you know about the stages, you will be more confident. The key thing here is to be confident and to appear confident. That's why we need to have this preparation work beforehand. Next is follow-up. So the interview, as soon as you leave the interview room, it's not over. It's not the end of the process. There is another step which people, most like 95% of people don't do, is follow-up. It can be very beneficial for you. Follow-up, we are going to see how we can do. It's a small step, but it's as important. And then it's about lessons learned. It's not that, okay, we are going to have one interview and then we are going to ace it. Okay, that's it. No, it can happen. It may happen that you have attended one interview. It did not go according to what you planned. You were a bit stressed and so on. So what? So important part is that you're going to learn from that. You're going to improve, and we are going to work on that for our next interview. So this is our program for today. Have you ever played Tetris? Let me just see the chat. So anyone have ever played Tetris here? You can say yes or no in the chat. Yes, yes, yes. So you know what is Tetris then? Okay. One is saying no, okay, but if you don't, you are going to learn it. Okay, so basically it's going to look like this, okay, or like this. Okay, thank you for participating in the chat. So the idea is the bottom part, okay, what you are seeing, let me try to annotate it. This part, okay, is the company. This one as well is the company. We have two scenarios here. This one is the company. And this is you, and this is you. The role, okay, we are starting to get into the aim, okay, the objectives of interview. This is, you have the interviewer, the big block at the bottom, and you are the additional block which is getting in. Are you going to fit, the main idea is, are you going to fit the company's culture? Every company has a culture, okay? If you have been able to, if they have been able to call you for the interview, so your certificate has done its job. You have the necessary minimum qualification to attend the interview. So the part where the certificate needs to act has been done. So your certificate actually has done its part. Now it's up to you. Everyone will be having maybe, most probably the same certificate level, same degree and so on. Now, are you going to fit this organization? Okay, so if you see on the left-hand side, this one definitely is going to fit squarely. you're going to get in. So this is what the aim of the interview is. It's not to analyze you on paper. Okay, this has been done. If you're at the interview stage, you have already cleared the first one. How about, are you going to be fit? So the organization is going to look for someone who can add value to his organization. Actually, getting someone in is a process, that is a recruitment process. You need to know that it is very hard as per the existing labor laws, where as soon as you had got someone in your organization, to lay him off. Okay, you have a lot of things, it's legal as well, that you need to abide to. Okay, so the recruiter or the HR manager, he's going to be very careful about who he's going to add. It's not like, okay, I'm going to get him in. If I don't like, I'm going to maybe lay him off and I'm going to look for someone else. It's not going to be like that. So you need to be very careful about who are actually getting into your organization. So you will see that this one is going to fit squarely. This one, maybe not. Okay, he's going to maybe to not really add value. You need to rotate him, train him, and so on. It's like forfeit. So if you don't have, you have only one candidate. So maybe they're going to have this one. Maybe they're going to rotate it and try to fix it somewhere around here. But then this one, he has maybe the necessary skills. With time, they will need to train him and so on to learn about the company's culture and so on, different new skills. But then it's going to be much easier. So this is the aim. You will need to be like this one. When you're going to prepare your CV, we are not talking about CV today. It's like another session. It's not like you need to prepare, have a CV, yes. But for each post that you are applying for, you need to have a different CV. Template is going to remain the same, but those skills that you're going to highlight are going to be different. Nowadays, in my time, you were looking for, I have a 2-page CV, 3-page CV, 5-page CV. That's good. It was like impressive. But nowadays, these people, they don't have time. Look for only 1-page CV. So how to get all the important information on 1 page so that it's going to have, you're going to be represented by this block. Okay, they will say that, okay, these guys can start fitting our guys. We can call him for the interview. Okay, then you're going to work in terms of the interview. Let's proceed. So now what is the objective of an interview? Let's have a look. An interviewer must make hiring decision. He wants to hire someone. So it's a decision-making process based on who are you. Yes, we know your name. We know your qualifications. We know where you live and whatever, if you're married or not, we know all that from your CV. But who are you actually? What do you look like? Okay, are you fitting? You have seen in this video a few different types of people. Maybe you would have chosen or not some of these. Okay, what characteristic and traits do you possess? It's not only if you have a first-class degree, you're automatically going to get the job. It's not like that. Okay, it's about your character, your personality as well. They're going to play into the equation. What characteristic and traits do you possess? Can you actually do the job? You may be having the certificate, yes. Okay, but then can you translate that into actual work? Is your experience, training, education, aptitude, skills, and interest sufficient for the position so that you will be productive for me? I will be paying you, but I need to get value back from you. Okay, you need to be productive. You need to start contributing to the company. So right now, okay, we are going to talk about LinkedIn and so on later on, just in case I forget. You need, how do you, but I don't have skills. I've just graduated from the university. Yes, but nowadays with so many online courses, you can have one online course for 1 hour, 2 hours, listening skills, communication skills, public speaking skills. All these skills you can learn and get a small certificate for that. Actually, if you were doing that in a face-to-face session, I could have issued a certificate for you for attending such a session. We have done a session on leadership as well. I could have issued a certificate on leadership. So these are what you are going to put into your CV. If they will say, okay, we need someone who has maybe slight knowledge on leadership. So you can put this up. I have attended a seminar on leadership and so on. Will you fit in with others in my company, or you will be part of the problem? When you're joining an organization, you need to be able to add value. Okay, you should not join an organization as such to create problems. You should create value, but not problems. So some people who actually, when they join an organization, they get about you. Okay, par exemple, LIT qui est dans Brianne là, ils gâtent sa goulanet, Okay, there are some people who join an organization and they disrupt the good running of the company, the company's culture, all the good things over there. So you know now what is the objective of the interviewer. What is he looking for? What type of people is he looking for? So now that you know the questions, how about you? What is your objective now? Your objective is to provide answers to these hiring questions. We have had a look at these hiring questions. Your role now is to provide answers to these hiring questions. Now it's not only about answers in the best packaging you can think of. You need to package that properly. Okay, it's just like, I'm just going to take an example of biryani. It's not like that I'm fasting. Okay, if you get a biryani, you go to maybe a wedding, you get a biryani, but then the potato is maybe at the bottom, the salad is at the bottom, and so you can see only maybe kanel, elaichi, and so on top. It's going to have maybe the same taste. You may be hungry and so on, but the feel of it, the packaging, maybe the plate that you have given you, it's a bit broken on several sides and so on. It's not clean. Okay, so what about, this is the packaging. It may be good stuff. Okay, and biryani zoro, I don't know if you know that, but then the packaging doesn't look good. It's going to create a perception for you. So why not, now that you are preparing, you need to put all the different maybe benefits to your advantage. Okay, put it in the best packaging that you can think of. This is what we are going to work on today. So you are given an axe for 6 hours to chop down a tree. What do you do? Okay, I think we talked about that in our last session. So if this is what Abraham Lincoln said, if I had 6 hours to chop down a tree, so your tree is about getting to acing an interview, I will spend the first 4 hours sharpening the axe. Okay, most of the time I will be spending sharpening, so getting my skills ready, getting my profile ready, getting all things ready for the next interview. Right now, okay, but I don't know what will be the requirements. You can, even though you're in the first year of the university, you can try to see when there's an advertisement for a job, maybe a software engineer, electrical engineer. What are the skills are they looking for? Let's take an example. If they're looking for someone who has a driving license, but you don't have a driving license, are you going to wait till you graduate, then you're going to start learning how to drive a car? No, you can start doing it right now. So it is part of a requirement. It's going to come in 3 years' time. So right now I can start working on this skill. Okay, so some of the skill, try if you're doing communication. Okay, you see that you need to have maybe a training at maybe an organization, in a media company and so on. During your university break, go and look for such a training. Don't expect money. Don't expect stipend back. Work free. And if it starts at 8, come before 8. If it ends at 4, leave after 4. Okay, this is how you're going to get the necessary skills. And so what I mean is that the interview process has already started. Even though the interview has the post is not here, the company has not been created yet, but the interview process, how you need to prepare, is already underway. So let's have a look at what is meant by this preparation process. Number one, your social media presence. We're going to talk on that in the next slide. Number two is know yourself. Who are you? Do you know yourself? I tell you, okay, present yourself in 30 seconds. My name is, no, it's not about your name. Okay, you will need to know how to present yourself. We have a technique which we call the elevator pitch. Okay, actually, I'm just going to tell you, let me just check my time. Yeah, the elevator pitch is a technique which they use in the US. They have been invented in the US, where you have high-rise building. So let's say you are getting in the lift, and at the same time, the CEO of the company gets in the lift as well. You're on ground 0, ground 1, and maybe you're going to go on to level 40. So it's going to be 1 minute with the CEO face to face. You have not seen, you have seen it on the website of the company or on the magazine, annual magazine and so on. But you have a one-to-one 1 minute session. What do you do? Okay, this is elevator. Elevator is the lift. Pitch. So you need to pitch yourself. You're going to introduce yourself. Hello, sir. Maybe I don't know what name you're going to use. I'm a new trainee, new recruit, and I've joined the company. So you need to prepare that. It's not that at that point in time you're going to say, will I say it? Will I not? So it's like a prepared speech about yourself. So it's about knowing yourself. Okay, what you need to put in that. Getting acquainted. You're going to see the statistics later on about acquaintance with the job. Okay, practice common question. Okay, some of which have already been given to you when started the session. Okay, where will you be in the next 5 years? I actually got it wrong the first time I got that in an interview. Where will you be in 5 years time? Okay, I won't tell you what I actually told them, but I got it completely wrong. So we can prepare for these types of questions. Speaking skills, how are you going to speak? Are you going to have your hands like crossed in front of you? Are you going to use your hands, gestures, and so on? Or are you going to be like fidgeting, maybe playing with your earrings, playing with your hair, playing with the pen, tack, 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 and so on? You will need to get used to these speaking skills. Okay, we're not going to go into public speaking as such, but I'm going to share a few things that should be avoided based on statistics. Let's talk about your social media. Maybe this one is the most important for you. Okay, so basically, you know that there are so many nowadays. It's part of our life. Okay, social media. In Mauritius, we use lots of Facebook, and I've seen in the past 2 or 3 years, LinkedIn getting in as well. Okay, Instagram as well has started to catch up, but not too much of Twitter. In the US, Twitter has lots of much more importance. And let's see, 98%, only 2% won't do it. 98% of hiring managers look at a candidate LinkedIn profile prior to interview. So make sure your profile is up to date. Not up to date, but make sure you have a profile first. Okay, so make sure if you don't have it right today after this session, start your LinkedIn profile. Most probably you will be having it because I've seen it. But the first time I run this training, that was, I think, 3 years back, maybe 50% or more of the class did not, it was a face-to-face training, 50% did not have any LinkedIn account, and they were trying to prepare for the next job interview. So nowadays it's much more easy. You can prepare, but then what I'm going to add, just my name, maybe my Essackjee. Actually, Essackjee don't form part of LinkedIn. You won't add these things over there. But then I'm still at the university level. I don't have any degree as such. But then, just as our team here who has maybe set up this webinar, so it's part of things that you can add. You prepare the webinar on this and this and this. So this is going to show leadership skills. You have taken the lead. Okay. Go on to some online courses. I mentioned Udemy and so on. And sometimes maybe on Black Friday and so on, don't rush to Bagatelle. Rush onto Udemy. You can have courses for 10 USD. Okay, very interesting courses. You can buy it. You have a lifetime ahead of you. Then maybe during the year, you can have 1 or 2. You can use these, and then you can add these in your, it's called an online CV, LinkedIn. So it was created in 2003, mostly for professional networking. Things that you share on Facebook and what you share on LinkedIn are most likely going to be different. Most of the times they are going to be different. Okay, so be careful about your profile picture. Okay, we are going to talk about Facebook, don't worry. Here it is about Facebook. So 98% is going to verify your LinkedIn profile. 33% is going to verify your Facebook account. Okay, so what is your Facebook profile picture? Is it like, I'm not judging. Okay, it's just like if you put a picture where you're having like a big beer like this, okay, and maybe you're maybe smoking a cigarette with un petit trou, d'un gros truc, etc. It may look good. You may have lots of likes, but if you are looking for a company to maybe hire you, maybe these things may not give you added value. They may not have anything against it, but it's not going to add value to you. But then in terms of your Facebook account, don't put like a professional picture where you have your tie and everything, you're formal. Okay, this needs to be on LinkedIn. So nowadays you have lots of people who can take very good pictures. So look for a friend at the university. I know that they have even organized a competition. So why not organize something where you can take professional pictures of students? Okay, I think the student union is here for that. Maybe look for a room, have the background ready and so on. And everyone is going to come with the best attire and they're going to have like a professional picture taken. And then you can put that on LinkedIn. On Facebook, you need to try to use it properly. Okay, we are going to see the statistics. I'm not going to speak about it. Let's the statistics talk about itself. Okay, survey information from more than 2,000 experts. It's not only me who is telling that, not 1 or 2 human resource experts. It's 2,000 experts in the field. Indicates that employers turn down application. You're not even being called for the interview. When you submit your application, they are going to verify, just how we have just seen. 98% is going to verify your LinkedIn, 33% is going to check your Facebook profile. So let's see why they turn down applicant. Shared inappropriate photograph or information. What types of photos, pictures are you sharing on Facebook or LinkedIn? You won't be sharing like such bad photograph, okay? Inappropriate, I won't call it bad, but call that inappropriate. 46% are going to reject your application if they have seen improper sharing of photograph. What types of photos are you sharing on LinkedIn, on Facebook? Posted photos about them drinking or using drugs. Be very careful, okay? 41% is going to reject your application right away. Posted negative comment about your previous employer. Maybe if you are looking for a job, this is that you have maybe lost the previous job or left the company, they have kicked you out. Okay, then you're going to say, you're going to do some amounts of etc. No, it's not about that. Be very careful. Now that you know, maybe if you have done it well or you are not aware, now that you are aware, you need to be very careful about what you need to use social media as a platform to brand yourself. Okay, don't use it just to sharing. Maybe at times it's so good, it's so fun. No, be very careful about what you are sharing. Okay, use it intelligently, using to brand yourself, to put yourself at another level. So if you have posted negative comments about your prime minister, previous employer or co-worker, is going to be like 36%. They're going to reject you right away. Demonstrated poor communication skills when you are writing on LinkedIn or you're writing on Facebook. Beaucoup erreur grammatical, beaucoup erreur punctuation, and so on. So be very careful. At times you have this shorthand writing. Yes, you is only you. Okay, it's not Y or U. But be careful about your communication skills or how you are writing things. Posted discriminatory comments are related to race, religion, and gender. Okay, maybe you have a different opinion on LGBT, but why put it there? Or don't put it in such a way that is going to offend people. Okay, be very professional in the approach, because these are going to help you get a job, or not get a job, but at least to be called for the interview. We're not even going for the interview. We are just trying to get ourselves being called for the interview. So you see, these are going to play for or against you. Up to you now to know how you're going to use, what is the best technique you're going to use. I have taken maybe 5 years back, when I learned about this, I have taken a shift. I was not as such maybe sharing bad information, but I now scrutinize before sending any post, before sharing, before even though someone has tagged me in a post, I will check before like letting it appear on my profile. So be very careful about what you're sharing. Have you Googled yourself? Now we are talking about online presence and so on. If you have not done so, do it just after our training. Or you can open a Windows and just see what are you present on the social network. Not social, but on Google, on internet itself. At times you may be present, but in the bad circumstances. Okay, maybe you have participated in a rally, in I don't know what. It is maybe for the bad, not bad, but inappropriate. It won't fit maybe the company's culture where you are going for. Okay, so if you have these appearing, what can you do? Okay, you can try to maybe think that you can. What you need to do is that you need to make this one appear on the second page. I was not going to go through 20 pages of you on Google. Maybe what's going to appear first? Maybe start a blog. Okay, start writing maybe on flowers, on cars, and things like that. So your blog, start a YouTube channel. Okay, share positive thoughts, share leadership skills, share whatever you are having, whatever you have as passe-temps. Okay, share it. This is going to take up the first few or even the first page of Google when they're going to Google you. Okay, then the thing that you are not so proud of, maybe you did it maybe when you were a bit younger and so on, immature, let's call that, they're going to appear on second, third page. So try new things which are going to be up there. Okay, so Google yourself if you have done so, because they are going to do it for you. Okay, better you prepare yourself before them. Number 2, still in our preparation stage, know yourself. Remember what is know yourself is, I think we have in the next one. Yeah. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. So let's see how we can know ourselves. Let's see what is meant by that. Your academic and professional pathway. If you need to introduce yourself, when did you do in which year did you not graduate, but complete your SC and your HSC? And yes, maybe in 19 or 2015. So at times, if you give this look in an interview, it's going to be bad. You need to be here, the information is here. I completed my school certificate in 2005 and then my HSC in 2007. So it is fluent, you know it properly. So you academic perfect. If you have been in several jobs, I joined company X in 2016, and then after 1 year or 12 months or 16 months, I joined company B, where I've been working as maybe a software engineer, and then the opportunity opened, so you know how to present. This is your academic and professional part. You don't need to look into your CV. At times, you know it, but you don't have the finer details. But if you know it, it's going to bring more confidence in you when you're going to talk. How to present and how you present and past experience relate to the position. You may have worked in 5 different places, mais là-bas, je peux faire maybe computer administrative work. Here I was doing maybe storekeeper, okay, just handling all the store stuff and so on a PC. And on one side, you were doing software engineering, and the post that you have applied is looking for software engineer. So you won't be saying, okay, you can say you were different position, but you're not going to stress on these previous position where they won't add value to this current position you're applying for. So you're going to focus. So this was my 3rd job actually, but this is where I actually got to use my skills about software programming. So I've been doing tac. Then you can relate these which are related to the post. Don't beat about the bush. Don't give information which are not so relevant to the current position. Your current and future career goal, where would you want to be? So you need to work on your goals. I think we have not had a session on goal setting, but you need to know where do you want to be in 2 years time, 5 years time, 10 years time. You can start writing about that. Okay, this is one of the most powerful skills that you can get. Okay, writing your goals and achieving your goals. So what are do you have your goals? And just after this session, I'm going to have a lecture at the UTM online as well. It's going to be our first session. Okay, the first question which I'm going to ask the student, all closer which I do, what is your goal, or what are your goals? And then they're going to think, what is meant by a goal? Okay, is it Mohamed Salah scoring a goal? What is my goal? What do I want to achieve in life? Okay, I always have this question to keep them running. So you need to start asking yourself as well. If you need help on that, you can just email me or talk to me later on. We can work on setting your goals. What skills and expertise you have to offer? So what are your skills? What can you give to the organization, to the post that you have? The skills that you would like to develop or to improve. Maybe when you're joining an organization, you can say, I'm joining an organization because it is the organization which can help me develop these skills. So you are providing your as such okay, with your company. Okay, your company is here to offer me these skills. I want to develop these skills, and it is one of the maybe international organization, a multinational, which is going to give me this opportunity to develop such skills. So you have been doing your research as well. Location, salary, and lifestyle priorities. Remember this guy in the first interview video we see, he didn't want to change his lifestyle, maybe his earrings, and so it's part of him. Are you ready to change? If you're wearing earring, if a girl, you have your hijab on, and the company say, okay, you have got the job, but you can't wear hijab over here. What will you say? Okay, I'm going to think about it. No, you need to think about it right now. Okay, location, you will need to commute a lot. Okay, you are living in Cap Malheureux, you need to work in Maibu. Will you be able? Yes, but after 1 week, la langue is so long. Okay, location is important. Salary, we are going to come to that. What is expected salary? Yesterday, yes, I think it was yesterday, one of my coaches called me and he told me that he went for the interview, he got the job. He told them about a range for the salary, 28 to 35, and they're giving her, I say her, 28. Okay, why not 35? Okay, so how can she now maybe negotiate with them to see if they can increase the salary? So we were having a discussion on that. So it's important to say, what is the salary that you're expecting? Okay, you need to be firm. You need to do your research first. And lifestyle priorities. Are you willing to, at the CB where I'm working, are you willing to work on roster basis? So you can be working at night and so on. Are you ready for that? It depends. Kinds of people, environment you prefer. Do you want to have like a side job where you're going to move around the island and so on? You're going to get a 4x4 lorry or a Mini Cooper that you're going to drive around? Or are you comfortable with working in an office environment? aircon, etc. Tout correct. Un petit café, c'est si de base. Okay, what do you prefer? When you're young, you would like to have a Mini Cooper and so on to drive around. But when with time, etc., you need to be able to know. And then remember, you need to have the license. Post experience, you want to highlight such as volunteer work. This is what our 4 friends who organized this webinar. Okay, this is volunteer work. Not, I think it's like it's a student union, but it is volunteering. They come about, maybe look for interesting things for you, student. So it's volunteer work. We were part of the student union at the university for this year to this year. We organized 33 seminars for students. Okay, that's good. Okay, we managed to get the Wi-Fi at the university campus. At my time, it was like people were willing to give internet on the campus and so on. It didn't materialize, I think, up to maybe a few years back. Okay, travel, hobbies. Okay, when we are going to talk about the salary, it's not only about the amount, rupees that you are going to get. There are so many things. It's a package actually. Maybe you get health benefits. If you go to the clinic, they are going to pay. Your company pays for your clinical fees and so on. Maybe you have vacation, you have traveling, you get what we call traveling. Okay, if you own a car, they're going to pay the fuel, but you have vacation leave, not vacation leave, how do you call it? Passage benefit. Okay, every year you get 5% of the amount of your salary over 1 year. It's 5%. They contribute that to your passage benefit. After 2 or 3 years, you can convert that. You can go to hotels, you can go abroad and so on. So this is a package that you need to work on. So it's about knowing yourself. What do you want actually? At times, there are some jobs where traveling is important. I had a friend, which we graduated together. He wanted a lot of traveling. He wanted to visit maybe different countries. Yes, but after 3 years, il n'a plus envie d'ouvrir avion. Okay, so you need to know what you want. He wanted it. Now he has like reconverted into the same company into an office job. He has gone to manager level now. Okay, number 3, read about the company. Read about the post. Normal, be an interview. Read about the post. No, let's see. 47% of job seekers do not know anything about the companies. Okay, they apply for the job, they go into the interview, but they don't know what is the company about, what is the company doing. What are you going to, if you are in the interview panel, what will you do with such maybe a candidate? You're going to outright reject. Okay, research. The more you research, the more prepared you are. It's Ricardo who said that. So it's researching about the company. But where will I get the information? Papa, oh, you have the Google, you have the annual magazine, you have the annual report, you have so many ways by which you can research about the company nowadays. In maybe 10, 15 years back, we didn't have so much of information. We could have gone to the company, can I have a brochure? So you are going to read and so on, maybe 1 week before. But nowadays, everything is online. Google the company, just they are going to Google you, Google them as well. Okay. Now, note important points. Okay, they won the intercompany, maybe bowling competition last year. So I'm going to say maybe I want to join their company to be in the bowling club as well. You have been learning about bowling or pétanque, whatever you want. So see what the company is interested in. If the company is more about CSR, okay, helping people and so on in different situations, they have had bad rates yesterday and so on. If you see this happening on the company's maybe Facebook page and so on, okay, I want to join this company. One of the reasons, not the main reason, is to be able to participate in such maybe CSR activities. So you are putting yourself, remember the Tetris, you are trying to put yourself into the mold, into getting into the correct block. Oops. Let's see. An overwhelming 80% of employees would dismiss a candidate if they didn't know the job roles they are applying for. Right away, if you are applying for the job, you have been called for the interview. But when they call you, okay, you have applied for software engineering, I don't know, maybe software developer or software compiler, I don't know what are the different terms. If you don't know what these mean, what is meant by these, you're going to dismiss you outright. Remember, he's going to throw your resume in the bin, outright dismissal. Quand le football commence, tu refais souffler, premier 10 secondes, you're out. And then, if there are 80% is going to dismiss you. 15% is going to have like a bad impression. It's going to leave like a bad taste. Okay, you don't know. Okay, let's see if we can interview you. Let's see if we can work on that. 15% are going to do that. Then 5% are going, okay, you don't know. Let's see if we can interview you. 5%. So it's only 5% who are not as such impacted by you not knowing what the job you have applying for. But most of them, either you're going to dismiss you outright. 15% are going to say, okay, but let's try if you can catch up on different other questions, but 5% are going to consider. So see where you want to have your maximum chances, okay, about reading the companies. Like we are basing ourselves on statistics that we have. Next, about practice common question, okay, but what are the questions? We are going to give you a few questions, okay. Practice does not make perfect. Only perfect practice make perfect. Now, why do we say practice these questions? Why do we say prepare well? It's not, it may happen that you have prepared all as per what we are saying today. You have done all these as I have been mentioning, but the interview turns out to be different. But why? The only issue, the only thing that this maybe webinar is going to help you is going to make you more confident, and appear more confident. When you're going to open, you're going to see the first impression. When you're going to open the door for the interview, the impression is made. You are confident, you appear, you are, getting the video earlier where people are not confident. Okay. This is the first thing. You're going to create a good impression. If you're stressed, if you have not prepared, yeah, I don't know about this job. I don't know where the company is going to do with me. What is the job all about? What is salary I'm going to ask? Okay, if you are in this dilemma and you are attending the interview, it will show on your face. Okay, this is the body language you're going to reflect. But then if you have prepared well, even though none of the questions that you have prepared are going to come, but you are going to appear confident. This is what is the main role about preparation. You appear confident. Then there are some questions, definitely. If there's no question, a question that you have not prepared, it's not that you are not going to reply. You will be able to reply, but then it's about the confidence, the first 90 seconds that you are going to interact. Okay, so practice is not only about practice, deliberate practice. Okay, stand in front of the mirror, sit, okay, see where your whatever dress you are going to wear for the interview, wear it. Then doulin, avant y aller mettre ce robe là mariée, okay, the wedding dress. Before wearing that on the D-Day, 3 semaines, il peut essayer. Bien ici, bien là-bas, c'est ici, etc. Bien un petit peu poids ici, etc. Why? She wants to look perfect. She wants to leave a very good impression during her wedding day. Same for you. It's not on the interview day that you're going to check, oh, my tie, is it okay? Okay, does it go along with my vest and so on? Okay, are you in trou ici? Bouton sorti? No, it's not going to be like that. You need to practice. Get yourself, put yourself into the situation, sit and talk as if you're talking to your PC, talk and record yourself, see what can you improve and so on. It's about deliberate practice. Okay, you can what we call the mirror exercise. You speak in front of the mirror, but nowadays you have a camera, you can sit in front of your laptop and then you start talking. Okay, talk and talk and talk. Tu ne peux dire au fou, pas qu'à sa tête avec du monde. Okay, get used to the required speaking skills. Slightly what we discussed about the deliberate practice. What are you going to do with your hands? Now, des affaires me dans mon pouce, me les croiser devant moi. Okay. Crossing your hands in front of you is a closing posture. Okay, when you learn about public speaking, body language is closing posture. It is subconscious. In the subconscious mind is going to say, okay, this person wants to keep a distance with me. This is what crossing the hands means in terms of public speaking. Okay, so you will need to know, what do I do? Je la tape, je prends une plume, je fais un barconnet, je fais crader la main là. Okay, practice. Okay, have a look at some interviews. You're going to use your hand to give additional info. When we did public speaking last time, I don't know in which webinar it was, but it was for the University of Mauritius. 5%, okay, it's about your, I think 7% about the words you're uttering. Okay, even though there may be slight mistakes in English, it won't bother. Most of your communication is going to be about your public speaking, not public speaking, but your body language, your eye contact. We're going to come to that, how your hands are moving. Okay, what are you doing with your hands, your fingers, your ears, and so on. Okay, these are going to give information to the panel, or maybe to one person in the interview panel as well, about whether you're confident, whether you're speaking the truth, or you're just blabbling and speaking the, maybe taking them for a ride. Yes, people take the interviewer for a ride as well. We're going to see that. Okay, so this was the first part about the preparation. Things that you can do right now. You can start developing these skills. Now, step number 2 is about the D-Day, isn't it? But before the D-Day, let's see what we need to do as well. You have applied, they have called you for the interview. This is where we are. You need to know where will the interview be held. We call that a trial run, okay? If I'm going by bus, where is the bus stop? Where is this building? Which floor? Okay, how do I go there? Papa Paul Kitmo, metro. Okay, so try to think about all that. If I'm going, the interviews at 9, see whether there are going to be traffic jam over there. It is usual traffic jam. So all these you need to be aware of. You need to take all your precautions. Why? Even though you may be getting there, okay, it's 9 o'clock, I'm reached there at 9, 1 minute to 9, and meet avant hiver. Very good, but you are stressed. You are already like, if you transpire by qualité, okay? So be very careful about that. Know the building, the route where you want to access it. If you're going there in car, where are you going to park your car? Okay, all these are going to play on your side or against you. This is before. Now, so that when the D-Day comes, you are well prepared. Let's talk about the attire. So number 1, we're going to talk is the attire. What should I wear when I'm going for the interview? Okay, be in the interview mindset as soon as you leave home. Okay, what is meant by the interview mindset? You need to be focused. Okay, if you want really to ace this interview, you need to be focused. It's not that, okay, comme je bazar, là-bas, no, you are leaving your home for the interview. You need to be 100% focused on this interview process. Okay, don't be stressed, but you need to be focused. Now, let's say you have reached this place. Let me just see if I put it there. Okay. Even when you're entering the building, the person you're going to meet at the reception, greet them. Don't be as if, okay, I need to rush for the interview and so on. Greet all the different people you're going to meet in the building. You don't know, maybe one of them are going to be part of the panel as well. When I told that, I think 3 years back on one of the sessions, there was a girl who raised her hand and said, yes, this happened to me. I was a bit late. I was rushing about. So I met someone. I told him, okay, where is the interview going to happen? And so he told her where to go. And ultimately, this guy was in the interview as well. So did she say bonjour? Did she greet the person? These are going to play on you. So come early and then greet everyone. That's what we call a positive mindset for the interview. You are focused. You want to get this job. Okay, or at least you want to get like a very good impression when you're going to do your interview. So everyone you're going to greet, be like fully focused on what you are going to do. Bring all necessary documents. What is meant by document? Your certificate, maybe a copy of your resume, your application letter as well. Maybe you have applied different job. You don't know what CV did I send over there. Okay, so bring one copy. You can save each in different folders. This is your administration, your own administration. Bring the set of documents. Basically, they're going to tell you to bring your certificates, original certificates. Be careful. Where do I put the certificate now? Mettez dans l'enveloppe que tu would deliver to. Okay, or a professional file, or a file. Yes, what we have a file in a substances, plastic, etc. là-dedans. Mais c'est mon cover. In a fortnight, to soit Hannah Montana. Okay, so it's not about this. It need to be professional. Pas mettre Teddy Bear, etc. The file. Okay, it need to be professional. Be careful about all that. All these are going to count. Bring the necessary document to mention. Bring a pen. Okay, I've done a lot of interview where we need to have the participant, the candidate, to write down something. Maybe it's a technical interview. Okay, but they don't have a pen. I need to take my pen, give it to the candidate. Okay, so it's going to play against you. So get your pen ready and plume qui écrit en tout cas. Okay, and a notepad as well if you want. Let's say they have given you couldn't answer a question. Okay, they have got, okay, maybe what do you want to achieve in 5 years' time? You fail to answer. You need to prepare for that. Then you can write it down in your notepad. So we say, what are you writing down? I say, I didn't prepare for that. I'm just writing down so that I don't forget. So this is going, you didn't answer the question well. Okay. But then you wanted to show that, okay, I'm going to work on that. I made let's call that a mistake. okay, loophole in my preparation. And I'm just going to note it down in my notepad. That maybe next time I'm going to prepare it. It's something which did not come to my mind, but now that I know, I'm going to note it down. I'm going to prepare maybe for next time. So it's going to you're going to turn things around for you. Have a pen and a notepad. And if they say, okay, but let's say at the end of the interview, maybe we're going to call you next week on Wednesday. Okay, you write it down in your notebook. You don't say, okay, I'm going to remember it. You can write it down as well in your notepad. It's going to add value to you. Bring a leadership book which you are going to read or which you have read. Okay, in your hand. You're going to see why. Attire, how are you going to dress? Why is it so important? 70% of employers claim they don't want applicants to be fashionable or trendy. It's not me who is telling that. 70% of employers. Okay, being trendy, fashionable, yes, it's good, but not too much. Okay, your haircut as well counts in terms of being fashion or trendy. Just be careful about that, and now be like on the safe side when you're getting for the interview. Adopt a professional attire. Be professional. Coordinate accessories, tie, belt, socks. Okay, don't wear these yellow or pink socks when you're going. Okay, and be professional. Okay, jewelry as well for girls. Know which bag you are bringing, what type of bag. Probably floral, taffel, or etc. We are talking about a professional interview. Okay, your jewelry. Par exemple, batana, par qualité, long, be very simple in terms of your jewelry that you're going to wear. Avoid too bright colors. Quand on rentre, be very careful about bright colors. Une couleur sombre, un petit peu plus intéressant. For girls, it's a bit more easy, but for boys, you need to be black or blue. Okay, black is better for your suit, and blue as well. 65% of buzzers said clothes could be the deciding factor between two similar candidates. 65%. So if you have two candidates, let's say same degree and so on, they need to discuss, you need to choose one of them. They have done practically the same, the scoring in terms of interviews the same. 65% says that the clothes is going to be the deciding factor, 65%. So it counts. Okay, for girls, okay, so this one maybe for me not too much, but for girls it may go. Let's say it's acceptable what you have on the left hand side. Casual, but yet you can polish it more. Okay, this one is okay in the middle one. Okay, professional. Saint-Pierre Bazar, I won't advise for this one. Okay, on the right hand side, I won't advise for this one. So be very careful. The talons, be careful. If you're used to wearing talon and so on, then you can wear talon to go to your, what we call a high heel shoes to go to your interview. If you're not being used to that, even you practice 1 month before, you start practicing right now how to wear high heels, else wear what you're comfortable with. Flat, bien propre, etc. Wear flat shoes. Casual, this one for the guys, for me not acceptable. Casual yet, but not polished. Okay, it won't give you good marks. Côté droite là, avant de rentrer, il finit out. Okay, be careful about your shirt and so on. Too casual for an interview. Now, even though you are wearing a suit, you need to be able to know what is good, what are the good things. It is about the grooming part. Your hair should be well combed. Okay, even though you may be having like a fashionable haircut, but keep it clean. If you have a beard, keep it well trimmed. Okay, your vest, okay, should be well done for you. Should not done propriété, etc. Qui n'est pas paraît fit you well. Okay, what is the amount that needs to be coming out from your sleeve here? Be very careful about that. Your pants, okay, je sais pas comment ils sont 3 quarts. Be very careful. Your socks should be matching. Et bien connaître, okay. Il fallait pas gagner à carreau puis match avec si pas and qui en long là, okay. Et be very careful about that. Si the chemise à carreau, tu vas quand même mettre une cravate qui arrête. Okay, be very careful about that. Know how to tie your tie. Okay, beaucoup connaissent. Et these are going to count. Then the one on the right hand side is okay, but actually you should not be having, if you have 2 buttons in your vest, you need to tie only one. Okay, to button on is the first one. Second one, the bottom one needs to remain open. So these are grooming which you can learn. Okay, now waiting for your turn for the interview. You have applied, you have come on time and everything. Now it's you're waiting for your turn. Keep that fair. Arrive 30 minutes before appointment. Don't come 2 hours before. Arrive 30 minutes before appointment. Trop bonheur, you're going to be fidgeting, donc commencer à gasser, etc. Donc, il commence pas, donc il transpire tout. Be 100% prepared. Remember, you're 100% prepared because you have done your homework. You know what is a company. You have everything prepared on your side. Avoid fidgeting, bouger, etc. Because there may be someone in the HR outside who's going to control who's going to get next and so on. He's going to, or she's going to have a look at you. If you are too stressed, it's not going to. They're going maybe as well to have a look at you. Avoid chewing gum. At times you bring the chewing gum, then you don't know. You know that you need to throw it out, but where? Okay. Talking on cell phone or texting. Best thing to do is to not put it on mute or on silent mode. Turn it off completely, your mobile phone. Okay, because even vibrating mode, when you're in the room, it's still vibrating, is not going to look good for you. Read your books. Remember, you have bought a book, a leadership book, or any book which is going like a personal development book as well. Read your book. Parlez sur téléphone, be different. Read your book. You know that the average CEO reads 5 books per month, sure? But usually they say chewing gum helps you calm down. Yes, but not in this. It's not going to be appropriate for this situation, having a chewing gum. The picture that you're going to throw is not going to be of someone. You don't want someone to know that you are stressed. Okay. And then when you get inside, what are you going to, when you're going to speak, maybe you're waiting, you're chewing your chewing gum. Next, you need to go next in. What do you need to do with the chewing gum now? You're going to remove it and put it somewhere, or you have the paper with you. It's going to be a bit clumsy. Okay, so try to avoid it as far as possible. Switch off your mobile phone. Then now we have got into the interview process. Okay, we are already in step 3, the interview. When you get in, you should appear young, ready, and hungry. Hungry for the job. Pas hungry you're hungry for the job. Football is played in 90 minutes. When you play football, it's 90 minutes. But your career may depend on the first. I'm just reading the question. How is interview in the public sector different from that? Maybe we're going to take this question later on. Okay. So you should appear young, ready, and hungry. We said football is played over 90 minutes. But your career may depend only on the first 90 seconds. You're entering the room now. Walking through the door. How are you going to walk through the door? Handshake if required. Will you handshake or not? It will depend on the other person. If they are, you should be ready for the handshake. Vous ne pouvez pas la même moite. OK? Quand vous avez fini, mettez un tissue avec ta main ou un mousseau avant de rentrer. Your hands should be ready for a handshake. A good handshake, it's going to count. And then wait for them to extend the handshake for you first. Pas tic-tiquer, pas bête rolling faire. OK? They will tell you what to do or not. OK? After handshake, we have the first 90 seconds. Handshake, at times the room is such, the system is such that you have maybe 5 maybe interviewers. It's going to be difficult for you to shake hands with each and everyone. But if one of them welcomes you, shake hands with you, then you can shake hands with him, or is a different, or you can greet them, good morning, good afternoon, and so on. Handshake is so important. First 90 seconds, we talk about that. This is what we call the first impression. You never get a second chance to make a great first impression. This is where it's going to make everything count for the first impression. Okay, we are going to have a look at the common mistakes, common questions. This is the part that we are going to have a look at, and then the closing part of the interview. First impression, why is it so important? Statistics. Again, we are basing ourselves on not what I'm saying, what I think. It's about statistics. Their impact is 7% of what people actually say. When you're meeting someone, whatever you're going to utter, the words is going to count only for 7%. It's come from the communication model from Albert Marc-Fabian. 38% comes from our voice, grammar. So is our voice small? We are not able to speak loud also. This is going to contribute 80%. The tonality, are you able to stress Your overall confidence, remember, you're going to show confidence when you're prepared. Okay, so 38% is going to be the impact. 55%, the most of it is about how we dress, how we act, how we are moving around, and how we walk through the door. So the way you're opening the door and getting in, these are going to be important points for you to score to create your first impression. Much of the impact you create in an interview is based on your visual and non-verbal presentation. Yes, part of it's going to be, you're going to answer the technical questions then later on, what skills you have and so on, but you're preparing the scene. Okay, let's have a look. In a survey of 2,000 hiring managers, 33% claim to know they would hire someone or not within the first 90 seconds. The entire 1/3 of the hiring mark, when you're entering the room itself, 1/3 of them have already made up their mind. Other study shows that an interviewer forms judgment within 4 minutes of meeting you. That's why an interview actually is around 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, so within 4 minutes, they are able to judge you and so on. Actually, if we take it from another angle, people should not judge you based on how you are dressed and so on. People should not judge you on how you are dressed and so on. Unfortunately, they do it. We say that we should not judge people the way they dress and so on, but actually we do. It's not part of our conscious mind, it's our unconscious mind. So we need to be very careful about that. So let's see what's your first impression. Greet the interviewer, okay? Good morning, good evening, whatever, good night. I don't know at what time it is the interview, with a comfortably firm handshake. Practice your handshake. Practice your handshake. Okay, that's tout été handshake. Okay, and then quand il peut passer la main, il est tous liés, etc. Il apprend à peser, il fait faire gym hier. Okay, practice a comfortable, firm handshake. Eager smile. You should always be wearing your smile. Okay, prends un peu en plus de terminer. Okay, eager smile. You are, remember, you are young, hungry, you want to get this job. It's going to appear, whatever, when you're wearing these, this confidence in you is going to appear in your, so practice your smile as well. Okay, perfect joke, but at least practice it from time to time so that you know how to maybe wear a smile whenever you want. Direct eye contact. Look at your panel. Pas zoom, but at least high eye contact. It counts. We are going to see the statistics later on. Allow interviewer to indicate, allow them to say, okay, please have a seat. Then you're going to have a seat. Okay. Unbutton your suit. If your suit, you have 1 or 2 buttons which are buttoned up, it's closed. You need to unbutton. It's going to paraître monter ou gérer là. Okay, this is going to, you need to be careful about that. You need to practice anyway. Unbutton your suit. Have documents in order and have a copy of resume handy. Remember, ne pas mettre de l'enveloppe avec de l'huile. Okay, you have a professional maybe filing system where you have brought it is in order already. Then l'enveloppe va dire no, put it in order. It may be in chronological order, or those who are most important, more relevant to this interview, you have put it first. They are going to verify these. Usually there's someone in the room or outside who is going to verify all that. And then when it is in a file properly placed, it's going to remain there. If it is in an envelope, original avec une copie, it may happen that originally not having copy. It's not, I'm not making this up. It happened actually. Okay. Assume a receptive posture. How are you going to posture is your body? You are sitting. Is it like you're putting your body forward? Un peu trop, in travail chest at the gym. How are you going to have your shoulders maybe positioned? Okay. Receptive is that you are, it is slightly inclined toward the panel, but not too much. Okay. Par rapport à des pas là, il y a un peu comme si trop fermé, but at least this is what we call a receptive posture. Breathe and try to relax. Pas bloc de respiration. Okay. Breathing, we practice that, I think, in public speaking or presentation skills, a correct breathing technique to adopt when you're stressed. Breathe and try to relax. Okay. Breathing is important because you're going to block that. You're going to start talking. If you don't have air inside you, how are you going to talk? Etc. So breathe and try to relax. Remember, you are prepared. So you are confident. You have prepared. You know, you have maximum information on your part. You have done your part of the job. Now let's have a look at the second video.
Welcome to 30 Seconds to Impress. Did you know that studies have shown that the outcome of an interview can be predicted within the first 15 seconds? This means that when it comes to interviewing, first impressions matter. We gave our actors 30 seconds to play the role of a potential candidate. Based on first impressions, who would you hire?
Hi.
Hello, are you Anthony?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Hello,
Yes, I
nice
am.
to meet you. I'm Lauren.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
I need to put myself together. I'm sorry. I'm late. I'm sorry. I'm
okay,
late.
that's okay. All right, yeah, have a seat. I have your resume here. So what's going to happen is I'm going to ask you a few questions.
Okay. Yeah, I have a question for you too.
Okay.
Regarding salary and vacation time.
Okay. Well, usually we discuss that later on in the interview process, but if you really... Hi, come on in. Are you Marissa?
Oh, hey, yes, I am. Thank you so much for having me today.
Oh, you're very welcome. Have a seat.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. All right, so I have your resume here that you sent in, and I'm just going to ask you...
Yes, oh my gosh, since I sent you that, I also have done so much more. I've been volunteering, I even have a part-time job. It's just so great.
Oh, well, that is fantastic. Do you have an updated resume for me or anything?
Oh, no, we can just talk about it.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, let's get started then. Hi, come on in.
Hi.
Are you Krista?
Good.
Are you Krista?
Yep.
Okay, great. Have a seat right here. Okay, so I have your resume here that you sent in earlier. And so what's going to happen is I have some questions for you, and then at the end, you can ask me some questions, and I will answer your questions for you if you have anything you want to ask me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's get started. All right. Hi, come on in.
Hi.
Are you Todd?
Hi, I'm Todd.
Hi, Todd. I'm Lauren.
Hi, Laura. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Have a seat.
Okay. Did you get the resume I sent in?
I did. I have it right here.
Okay, great.
Thank you very much for sending it. We appreciate it. So I have had a chance to review your resume. And so what's going to happen today is I have some questions for you that I'd like you to answer. And then at the end, you're going to have a chance to ask me some questions if you would like.
Okay, great.
All right, so let's get started.
Okay, Mom, I gotta go. I'm in my interview right now. Yes, right now. Okay, I'll call you back. Bye.
Hi, come in.
Hi.
Are you Caitlin?
Yes, I am.
Hi, I'm Lauren.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Have a seat right here. Okay. So I have your resume here, and I have some questions for you.
Okay.
And then at the end, you'll get a chance to ask me any questions that you might have about the position.
Okay.
All right, so let's get started.
Hello?
Hi, come on in. Hello, are you Steven?
Yes.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Lauren. Come on in, have a seat right here. Okay, so Steven, I have your resume here that you sent ahead of time. So what we're going to do is I have some questions for you, and then at the end you'll get a chance to ask me some questions if you'd like. Okay. All right, so let's get started here.
So who would you hire? You have seen, I think, 4 candidates, and you have seen now that you are aware about things that should be done and not. Who would you be hiring? Let me just check the chat. Number 4, third moment. We are preparing you to be good candidates, but I see that you are now good recruiters. That's good. Okay. But now that you are aware, thank you for these answers in the chat. Actually, you have seen what are the do's and don'ts of it. May not appear now that you are aware about it. You are seeing it from a different perspective, or maybe you would have done the same thing, but now you know what are things that should be avoided. And in these scenarios, they have been trying to emphasize it a bit too much, just to show you, okay, how bad can it actually look like. Let's see the end of this video now.
Anthony comes in and he is already running late, which is kind of strike one. And then he hands me his portfolio so he can fix his tie, which is really quite awkward. I'm not really sure what to do with it. And then after I sit down and start explaining how the interview process is going to work, he interrupts me in order to ask how much he's going to get paid and how many vacation days he'll get, which is very inappropriate. And at this point, I don't even want to continue the interview.
We discuss that later on. Hi, come on in.
Marissa comes in and is obviously very enthusiastic to be there. She seems pretty friendly, a little bit over the top, but not something that would count her out entirely. However, then when I begin to explain the process, she interrupts me in order to tell me that she's done a lot more things that aren't listed on her resume. However, when I ask her for an updated resume, she doesn't have anything with her and says that we can just talk about it, which is pretty unprofessional.
Well, let's get started.
From the second Krista enters the room, I can tell she is not with it. When I ask who she is, she says good, which makes me have to ask her again. Obviously, she was not listening the first time. Then, when she sits down, she looks all around the room and doesn't make eye contact with me at all. It seems like she really just doesn't want to be there or doesn't care. Also, her gaudy jewelry is really distracting.
So let's get started.
Todd makes a good impression right off the bat. He's dressed professionally in a suit and tie, and he shakes my hand firmly. When I offer him a seat, he asks me if I received his resume, which is fine. But the real clincher is that when I'm explaining how the process is going to work, he's looking at me, making eye contact, nodding, and I can tell he's really listening to what I'm saying. He might not be the most friendly candidate, but he's definitely professional. Caitlin enters the scene, and I'm not sure if she thinks I can't hear her because she's still in the hallway, but she's hanging up with her mom, which makes her seem really immature. Also, she's wearing a cute outfit, but it's really not formal enough for an interview. Then I notice she has a huge flowered bag, which she puts on the table, which is very distracting. When she sits down, she assumes a very relaxed position, and she starts sipping her coffee, and overall, she just seems way too comfortable.
Alright, so let's get started.
Instead of knocking on my door, Stephen pokes his head in shyly. Then when he enters, I notice he's wearing a polo shirt with an eagle on it. That's not quite professional, Stephen. Then he gives me a really limp deadfish handshake and sits down to start the interview. He crosses his arms in a really standoffish gesture and starts shaking his legs back and forth. I can tell he's really, really nervous, so I feel kind of bad for him, but that doesn't make me want to hire him.
Alright.
Based on what I've seen so far, Todd is the best candidate and gets the job.
Okay, so these you have been able to see how these different maybe body language are going to count when you are going to present yourself for this first 90 seconds in the interview room. Let's have a look at the language that you need to use now. Identify your skills throughout your response. So when they're going to ask you a few questions, you will need to, it's not like going to be like yes, no question, okay? Or do you think you're going to fit this job? Yes, no, it's not like that. I'm pretty sure that I'm going to fit this job since I have skills number one, skills number two, skills number three. Okay, so it's not going to be like a passive interview. Yes, no, like this. But when you are answering, you're responding, you're giving them, you're providing them the necessary maybe input for them to judge you. Remember, they need to have, they have the hiring questions. You need to provide these answers in the best packaging. So identify your skill throughout your response. Use industry terms, what you call technical terms. Try to avoid jargons, okay? But acronyms, but what I mean here is that you need to be able, let's say you are talking about software engineering. You will need to know, I don't know exactly what are the terms that they use over there, but you will need to be able to put one or two of these in the correct context. If you're not sure, don't use that. But if you have researched properly, you will be able to use in one or two. So it's going to give you much more value as compared to like a flat speech, like a common, like a layman speech in terms of applying for the interview. You are applying for a specific job. If you're in the medical field, you will need to definitely get in a few medical terms. If you're in the software field, you will need to get in some of these. Engineering-wise, you will need to be able to get in some of these as well. I hope you understand what I mean. Industry slang, it may be okay or not, depending. Don't use terms that you are not aware of. But if you're comfortable, you have learned about it, and you can explain, you say, okay, you have used this term, what is the meaning? You should be able to answer that. Be objective, not subjective. Use facts, okay, based on what you have learned, what you have researched and so on, use these facts. Look for a guided conversation instead of a passive interview. We said not yes, no, but you are guiding them towards what you want to push forward. Because at times there are some questions which are prepared and still with the way, maybe you have a question, maybe, yes, I have this skill which I have tried to have been using at different maybe companies. They will say, okay, but which company, which skill? So one question, your answer is bringing in the next question. Okay, this is what we call a guided conversation. Then you can bring them to your playing field, to where you want to play. You have prepared there. You're not forcing it, but they're asking a specific question to you're bringing them to your field where you are able to play. You have prepared well over there. Then you can have all the score on your side. How about lying a bit about your when applying for a job? Okay, statistics says that 62% lie about the job skills. So don't be about these kind of people who lie. Be frank. Okay, for 54 about job responsibilities, maybe you're a project manager or you were only like a project team member. So these are job responsibilities, days of employment, job title, educational or degree. Just mute someone. Can you please mute yourself? See if I can. There you go. Okay, so don't lie because they are going to know. For the questions and so on, they are going to know about that. So it's going to give you a bad impression. So be frank, okay, when you're maybe giving answers and so on. Common nonverbal mistakes. 67 failed to make eye contact. Remember in the video that we have just seen, there was one girl who was sitting around trying to see what's in the office and so on. So they failed to make eye contact. This is bad. Okay, this is a mistake which they have. Statistics says that 67% fail to make eye contact. Okay, you're not seeing the right, correct direction, maybe swinging your feet or maybe upstairs and so on. There's no, let me reassure you, there's no answers written on the ceiling or on the table or on the floor. Okay, you should know how to use your eye when you are speaking to someone. 47 having little or no knowledge of the company. We mentioned that before. 38 lack smile. You are stressed. Okay, and you lack smile. Remember, you need to practice your smile. Practice your smile. 33% have bad posture. You could see in the video if you're having bad posture. One was like on the table, sipping her coffee. Okay, bad posture. Fidgeting, moving around. Maybe if your legs are shaking. When you're shaking the table as well. They are sitting on the next side of the table. They are feeling the earth rock under them as well. So be very careful. If you have a pen in your hand, don't tack, 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 and so on. Okay, this was about posture. Poor handshake, too weak. Be careful. Practice your. This you can start doing right now. Today itself. Look for someone. Practice your handshake. Practice. Get the best handshake possible. It's going to count. Okay. 21% playing with your hair. Okay. Touching face. Maybe if you have a earring here, an earring, clicking a pen, adjusting your tie, whatever. So you are giving non-verbal cues that you are stressed. 21% crossing arm over because you don't know what to do with their arms. Remember, in our preparation, we told you need to practice your hand gestures, what to do with your hands, because you are going to be only half of your body which is going to be seen when you're sitting in the position for the interview. What to do with this body? How are you going to stay back? How about what is the posture you're going to adopt? What are you going to do with your hands and so on? So be very careful about all that. Next, 5 stages in the interview. Opening, the first part is building rapport. Okay, the greetings and so on, your 90 seconds to impress. This is building rapport. Then they're going to ask you questions about your skills and experience. Number 2. Third is exploring professional style. Are you going to fit? You may be having the experience, the skills necessary, but then are you candidate your personality, or you candidate which is going to fit this organization? Remember the Tetris? Okay, are you professionally fit for this company? It will depend on how you're answering the questions and things like that. Interview question, you will get the opportunity usually to ask a question before the closing of the interview. They will ask you, do you have any questions for us? Okay, and then you need to be prepared for that. I will show you how you can prepare for that as well. Then it's a closing message. You're going to say goodbye and so on. This is the 5 stages of an interview. Icebreaker, first 90 minutes, specific questions most of the time, 99% of the time. Tell me about yourself, introduce yourself. Remember we talk about the elevator pitch when you are alone in the elevator or in the lift with your CEO. Maybe the same practice. This part, the first, you're starting to speak, you're going to be stressed. It's for everyone, okay? But you can practice this first question. Tell me about yourself. What is meant by that? Not say I was born in 1982. I like to walk on the beach. No, they don't want to know whether you like to walk on the beach or not. Okay, what they want is in 2 minutes or less, tell why you are qualified. Keep your answers short and simple. Elaborate on experiences and goals relating to the applied position. So you need to prepare this part of your elevator pitch as icebreaker. Tell me about you. Make it, they're curious to know more about you. Create this how do I say that? Create this willingness of them to be able, okay, I want to learn more about this. This candidate looks interesting. Let's learn more about him or her. Okay, try to create this situation. Common question. If you had a specific job prior to that, what would you change about your last job? Why did you leave your previous job? Okay, at that point in time, you will say, oh, my boss that I had, he was, and so on. It's not the place to do that. Okay, say you were looking for a greater opportunity. I wanted to work for a multinational. So you have research about this company, what they're offering as compared to your previous employment. You can see, okay, maybe here I'm going to have more, maybe training. Okay, it's going to give much more opportunity. So talk about the opportunity that you are getting here as compared to your previous job. Okay, if you were laid off by Mezzodeo, say it was recession related, they wanted to maybe to slim down. Okay, it was COVID related. Put all these on the back of COVID-19. And it is not at times when you get to talk about your boss, your previous boss. Oh my God, oh my boss, my HR manager who was, oh my God, and so on. This is not the place to do that. Okay, don't be overcritical because ultimately Mauritius is small. These people, they know each other among themselves. They have like a clique, most likely. So if you're criticizing maybe your previous employer, maybe one day you're going to criticize me as well as your current employer. So don't be overcritical. Be 100% positive. It was a good experience at this company. I learned so many things, but then I reached a situation where I wanted to move forward, to go to the next level. This is why I wanted to have seen that I can get these opportunities in this current company. So take it from there. It was important, be positive, but now you want to go to the next level. And since this company has the ability to bring you to the next level. Generally, the answer should be about opportunity, challenge. This one is more challenging, you see. That was a small company to start setting up. I learned a lot of things, but now I want bigger challenge. I want to move to the next level, okay? So your answer should be maybe chiseled toward these specific answers. Common question again, what is your biggest weakness? Biggest weakness. I really don't have any big weakness. This is not the way you should be answering that. So here, what you can do to put it on to your benefit, you should be say, okay, there are some weaknesses which are not going to impact the job which I'm applying for. Let's say some of the questions, some of what I've written, not delegating enough, okay, and getting into micromanagement. What is micromanagement? At times you delegate, but then you are over the shoulder of these guys. Okay, I'm just checking if you're doing it right. This is bad. It's a bad practice. It is a weakness. But then for the company, if you are doing it, they will get a better job because you are checking that things are going fine on the side. So this is going to be helpful. Discuss non-essential skills. Okay, maybe one of my weaknesses is that I like to maybe things which are not currently related to this job. Maybe if you apply for software, maybe I don't like to travel. You are going to maybe work from home, or you are going to work into Mauritius. This is a current job. You dislike to travel, or so it's something which is not related to the current position. Don't say, okay, you are applying for a job as software programmer, but you don't like to work on a PC, on a laptop. This is against your essential skills that you are applying for. So look for skills which are not directly related, which are not going to impact your current job you are applying for. I like to make sure that my work is perfect. So I tend to perhaps spend a little more time checking it. So it's going to take more time, but then the company, if you are spending more time, you're making it perfect. The output is going to be better for the company. So it is a weakness, but then it's going to be something positive for the company as well. Okay, common question again. Why should I hire you? Because I'm the best candidate. Okay, so you want to do that, but let's see. I'm a hard worker with a proven practical. So be humble. Okay, but be humble. I'm a hard worker. I may have a few weaknesses, but then I'm here to improve. That's why I wanted to join a company which can give me this opportunity. No. You can know how to proceed from there. When I read the job posting, I noticed that you specifically mentioned you were looking for someone with project management experience. As you can see in my resume, I have over 10 years experience as a project manager. Then you see, you're bringing your experience, your skill to fit in. Why? I'm the best candidate. Okay. You requested for candidates with this specific skill. I'm telling you, I had this skill as mentioned in my resume. You're putting both together to be able to answer this question. Common question, what is your greatest strength? Okay, relate to characteristics you choose to the requirement of the job. For example, of how you have demonstrated the characteristic in the past. As compared to the weakness, here you need to focus on this specific characteristic that you have for this specific job. I have an extremely strong work ethic. When working on projects, I don't want to meet deadlines. I prefer to complete the project well ahead of schedule. Last year, I even earned a bonus for completing my last or most recent reports 1 week ahead of time. So it is one way you can answer. It's not the correct way, the perfect way. So it is just going to give you like an idea about how you should be preparing your answers for these types of questions. Greatest strength, I think you can read for that. Okay. Common question again, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Actually, I didn't nail it. I don't know what I answered when I got this for one interview, but I learned from my mistake. No interviewer expects candidate to be able to describe exactly what you will be doing in 1,825 days, which is 5 years. They don't expect you exactly. They want to know, do you have a plan, a growth plan? Remember, we talk about goal setting. This is where you need to put it. So let's see what I have. Let's see what I have written. My goal right now is to find a position at a company where I can grow and take a new challenge. I can take new challenges over time. Ultimately, I would like to assume more management responsibilities and get involved in product strategy and so on. But most importantly, I want to work for an organization where I can build a career. So you are saying that, okay, this company is meeting my expectation. I want to learn, start my career here, then slightly grow within the company itself. Okay, this can add value to your answer. Common question, salary. Okay, they want to know if they can afford you. Definitely. Some employers are bargain hunting. Okay, casse-prix, Mauritian, typical Mauritian. Okay, so what can you do? You need to do a research. Okay, before going to the interview, during your preparation, how much is this job going to pay? Okay, what is the current market value for such job? Then you can, it's always good not to say only one figure, but at least to have a range. But don't put a range where you won't be comfortable. Just like the coachee who called me this week, she mentioned about 28 to 35. Now, when they're offering her 28, she sees that it's a bit too low. Okay, but be careful about what you're going to choose for the lower. Okay, maybe it's your first job, maybe it's about getting experience, but then look for certain people that don't like take you for granted as well. I'm more interested in finding a position that's good fit for my skills and interests. I'm confident that you're offering a salary that's competitive in the current market. If you don't know exactly, but basically if they have all these questions, they will ask you, okay, what are you expecting? They will need this information from you. Okay, always say that salary is negotiable. Okay, however, do a market research, we talk about that. Mention that the cost of employment also include performance bonuses. So it's not only about the amount of money that they're going to put into your bank account at the end of the month. So about different benefits that you can get. You have call allowance, vacation, retirement contribution, health benefit, flexible working hours, maybe paid vacation, things like that. So you can say it's a package, and maybe we can, if you don't know what to answer, you can say it's about a package. We can discuss about that depending on what you're offering, maybe in terms of health benefits and so on. Or if you have already researched, remember, I've seen from your website that your employees actually benefit from health benefits and so on. That's why it's not only about the money that I'm getting, it's about all this package that you're going to offer me. Okay, one way you can answer such a question. Remember, fourth part about interviewee question. They will ask you, do you have any questions for me? So this will tend to be the last, you know that the interview is tending towards an end. So do you have, it's not that, oh, you're asking me, do I have a question? But you need to be prepared for that. It's not at that point in time that they're going to tell you, and then you are going to have a shock. Okay, I need to ask a question. Okay, I don't know, and so on. So what type of question? Okay, I don't have any question. So it is your time now to put them in a stressful position. Can you walk me through a typical day of someone in this role? How else can I help to clarify that you would make hiring me an easier decision? Okay, some of the questions you can ask. How would you describe the company's culture and leadership philosophy? Okay, do you look for people to grow in the organization, to gather experience and then to grow? Or is it that you get someone from outside to join the company for leadership opportunities? As an employee, how can I meet your expectation? Okay. Are there opportunities for growth and development at your company? Some of the questions you can ask. Is your company committed to CSR activities? Okay. These are some questions you can ask. Then the closing part, the last part of the interview process, restate your interest in the position, why you feel you're an ideal candidate. You thank the person and so on, thank the interviewer for their time, and you said it was a pleasure having this conversation with you. Okay, shake the interviewer's hand, oubliez, car frotte les coups de la mettre tout ça moi, etc. Then you shake again, practice your handshake. Remember to smile, practice your smile. So I'm really glad to have had this conversation with you. It gives me an even greater ambition to join the company to be able to work with such people, okay, or with people like you. Good, isn't it? Follow up. This is the interview process is over, but now remember we have 5 stages. We have the objectives and so on. It's about following up. The interview is done. You are back at home. It's not over yet. Send an email within 48 hours, which is 2 days. Even if you blew the interview, okay, I knew I could not nail it. I answered wrongly to some questions, but follow up. People don't follow up. Okay. So dear sir, thanks for the opportunity to discuss about the production manager position at Angry Chocolates. It was terrific to meet you, and the position sounds very close to my background and interest. I'm looking forward to our next conversation. If you need any more information, please let me know. Have a great rest of the week. Best regards, or yours faithfully, depending. Okay, so this was it. Let's have a look at what we have seen for today. What is the objective of the interview? Remember, we have seen the hiring question and how you need to provide these answers to fit in this situation. Preparation work. Okay, we have gone through the preparation work. The D-Day, what happens on the D-Day? And a few days before, let's call that D-Day -1. You need to check where you need to go, where to park, where to take the bus, where is the bus stop, and so on, so that you don't meet with surprises on the D-Day. The interview, the process of the interview, how you need to manage the impression, creating this first impression, till the closing, the following up, and lessons learned. Remember, it's not like a one time you're going to get it. It may happen, I wish it for you, but then we always learn from our mistake. Okay, I could have prepared, I forgot to do that, I should have done that. But then put it in your calepin, in your notebook, that next time I need to improve on this part. But next time you have an interview, you're going to ace it much better, much easier for you. So I have one book, okay? I've got a few of these questions. You have one book, which is 101 Great Answers to the Toughest Interview Questions. I have, I think, the 4th edition. The 5th one is already out, but I don't have it. So if you're looking for that, I have the ebook. I can share that with you. You can just write to me. I can share that with you. So you have much more of questions which you can prepare and for the interview. So I think that was it. It's like slightly above 1 hour 40 minutes. So let's see if we have a few questions now. Ding, ding, ding. Let's see, third. So if the interviewer asks me if I get a better than this one, will I go? Okay, it will depend on you. Okay, that's a tricky question. Okay, you can say, from what I have researched, how I would answer such a question, how I have researched the market. Currently, it may be a better opportunity, but I feel that this company's culture is more suitable for me. Okay, definitely if you have another job later on, if you see the salary is much better, if they're doubling your salary, actually it happened to me. I joined a company where I was happy there, but then I got another job where the salary was double. So not too much about decision making. So I had to shift, but the condition as well was good over there. So you can say, just to bring comfort to your interviewer, definitely there may be different opportunities, but when I've seen your company, I've seen what you are doing for CSO and so on, and the company culture, when I reached there today, the way you have greeted me, you have been talking, you have been speaking, I feel already at home. Okay, even though there may be different opportunities maybe outside, I feel already comfortable in this environment. This is where I want to grow currently. This is how a way that you can answer such a question. I have to leave for my class. Okay, we are going to share the presentation. Can I mention to the interviewer that I have an autoimmune disease and chronic illness, but as well? Definitely. So if you have like, even you're talking about diseases, chronic illnesses, it's like companies actually look for such people. Okay, even if you are handicapped, what we call autrement capable nowadays, they have part of their labor force where they need to give each and everyone the opportunity. At times, you may have the job as compared to someone else. If you have maybe a small handicap, okay, you can have an advantage over someone who is fully fit. Okay, because you have to give equal opportunities, and even though this actually play for you in some situation. But if this is going to have, if let's say you have maybe such a disease which stops you from going on site, maybe you are maybe allergic to sunlight, but this job actually needs you to be on site. So this is going to work against you. But if it is something which is not really going to impact the job, okay, like if you're, as we could say, handicapped or autrement capable, they can give you like a job as a receptionist, as someone who's going to work from an office space. So actually, they look forward to these people as well. It's form part of the company's culture. I can't mention companies who have done so because I know them. I can't mention them, but it is a fact that they are looking for people with, comme on dit, autrement capable or specific illness, so not too chronic as well. Okay. But if you're able to bring value to the company, I'm pretty sure that they will be able to employ you. How do we increase the chances for getting hired if you had no prior work experience? Okay, so this is another great question again. Okay, so it's about how do you get experience? No prior work experience. This is bad because you can avoid the situation, because in your vacation, university vacation, look for jobs, even though they don't pay you. Okay, actually, if you're the first job you're looking for opportunity, you should be paying them to give you such an opportunity. But you can always look for companies where you say, okay, I just want to have the experience. It can be 1 month, 2 months, or maybe 2 weeks as well. Don't get paid. You don't get paid. Okay, so you just go there and learn about the structure, how things should work, and so on. So then you can get at least a few experience. You can say, I had like an internship here and there. Actually, some companies, they're going to pay you as well. You show some stipend. But even though if you don't pay you, go for these jobs, go for the internship job, is going to bring value to you. But then if it happens that you have not any experience, you can say that it's going to be your first job experience, and you're excited. Show this excitement that, okay, I'm so blessed to be able to apply for my first working experience in such a company. I feel already at home. I like the ways you have greeted me. It feels so good over here. I like it already, and so on. Okay, but bring this hungry, smiling that you are an ideal candidate. Use this emotion as well over there. Put in a good package for you. Okay. When the interviewer asks about our past experience, but we don't have any, I think it's the same, okay? Actually, past experience, you can look for jobs even though it's not paid, okay? And maybe if you're in the communication, go and work, try to apply for Défi Media, Top FM, MBC, and so on. Say, okay, I want to have an internship, even though I'm not paid. Look for, I work at the CB, so many people apply over there. Okay, and they do get like 2 weeks internships and so on, one month, 2 months, and so on. It does happen. It depends on the company, but I'm pretty sure that people are willing to help as well. Can you walk us through the process of resigning for a job? Resigning. Okay, resigning. Okay. Actually, when I resigned from my first job, I joined a company as a consultant. I had to resign, not resign, I had to leave the company. It was like a resignation, but then I already signed a bond, a 2-year bond. I was leaving after 1 month of signing the bond, but it was in good terms. Okay, be frank. Okay, I went to see the manager there. He liked me a lot. Okay, because it was training me. It's like an investment in me. I spent 3 months there. He was investing in me, in my training, but I had to leave because the opportunity was much bigger where I'm working at the CB. But then I approached him directly. I was frank with him. I tell him, okay, he was even willing to give me an increase in my salary, but he could not meet what CB was offering me at that point in time. But we kept good working relationship. Even though I left the company, there was a few jobs which I had to complete. Some of my projects which I had to work on, I completed everything. Even though I left, I didn't take any additional salary from them and so on. Until now, we are still in good working relationship. He even asked me to give training to his people, and I prepared a proposal as well for him. So it's like don't just leave like maybe in bad terms. Always keep a good term, because you don't know. It's a small market in what we have, and networking and so on is going to play for you. It's a difficult at times when you have learn about the culture, you are part of the organization, but resigning is part. So you need to tell him that I'm getting bigger opportunities. Be frank. What I did, I was frank. I told him about what salary they were offering me. He could not meet that. So I had, and not only salary, but the benefits as well. But it was in good terms. Can we share the ebook later? I think I can share it with the organizers. I think he has the email of everyone. I can send it to him, and he's going to. I'm going to send the slide as well, and you can have the ebook as well. If I go to a job interview, it is good to mention that I'm following a part-time course. So it's better to tell them. Okay, this may be different if you're basically if you are bringing value, you are learning, still learning, they will like it. But if you need to leave let's say 2 times a week, you need to leave maybe for half day, then it may be different. Okay, let's say if you're usually part-time course is going to happen after working hours. So basically they will love it because they will see that your people are growing. They are not paying for it, but you are growing. It's going, let's say you have completed your first degree, you're doing an MBA and an MSc. Most of these are after working hours and on Saturdays. They will like it, okay? But be frank, okay? At times there was one when I was at my first job, I wanted to do an MSc, but I had to leave at 4 because the MSc started at 4:30. The job finishes at 5, so I didn't get released for that to attend MSc, so I had to scrap. I already had my letter of appointment, letter of offer from the university, but I could not join the university. So it is part of it. You need to know what's more important for you. If you start your interview in French and you are more at ease with, can you ask? Definitely, actually, you can do it in a subtle way. Okay, when you need to introduce a specific term, then you can continue. Oh, you can mention I'm more ease in English. Okay, if you can continue in English, I'm pretty sure that they are going to allow you to speak English because English is the official language. So can you please share the ebook? Okay, I'm going to share the ebook. I'm going to send it to the organizers, and then they are going to email you the presentation as well as the ebook as well. Okay, so thank you for being such a very good audience, for participating as well. Sorry. And I'm going to leave the floor to the organizers now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving us your time as well as sharing your wonderful experience with us. Thank you for answering to the questions. We hope that we can organize these sessions more and we can even make it on the campus. Now Sudashna will continue.
Thank you. I would like to thank you again, as your interventions are always helpful to us, considering the first workshop, which was a successful one, as well as this one. I really hope that this workshop has been fruitful for all the students. And you've highlighted quite a lot of good points to consider and to put in practice for an interview. One being the selling skills, being confident, what an interviewer is expecting from us, and many more. Something you said earlier, writing your goals and achieving the goals. Rest assured that all of your advice will surely be a guideline for us for our next interview and in the near future to reach our goals. Thank you again. Abhishek will take it from here.
So, good morning, everyone. On behalf of the Students' Union, I would like to thank Dr. Ismail for sharing his wisdom and knowledge to the university students. Indeed, in this competitive world where we have so many degree holders, we learn that selling ourselves and developing our skills are essential. I personally found a new perspective of social media and how unknowingly our social profiles can be used to brand our image. I would like to thank everyone for participating. I hope that this event was fruitful to you all. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, so maybe we can stop here. I'm going to stop the recording. So wish you a very good weekend ahead and looking forward to sharing maybe another webinar with you shortly. So take care and have a good weekend ahead. Stay safe. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.